Hello and welcome to Healthier Habits. I'm Brian Bessey.
And I'm Sam Gossman.
This is the podcast where we adopt a healthier habit every week and give you all the details. And for this week, we will be exploring the world of meditation.
And so for the next week, we will be meditating every single day.
But to begin this podcast, I must talk about the last week I've experienced and tell you about that experience, about my biking experience, because I had to bike everywhere I went.
Many experiences.
Yes, biking experiences specifically. I'll go first with some cons. Big, huge con for me. I needed food, and to just bike to Ridley's sounds great in theory, but when you need to buy a gallon of milk and put it in your backpack, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe you should have gotten one of those, bike carrier things, put on the two sides of the back wheel.
That costs money.
Yeah, that's true. Money is the thing that you need.
Right, exactly. So, so I couldn't really take a trip down to Ridley's and do that and get food. So I will say, yesterday I had to get food, and I had to get a lot of it, so I had to take my car.
Ooh.
Yeah, which...
cheating.
Yeah, cheating with a chi. Instead of a she. But anyway, that was a big problem I had. I also had the problem that I just didn't want to. A good portion of the time where I really didn't want to ride my bike back to the apartments, because the problem is where I'm living right now is from the apartments to on campus or at my job, it's all downhill and fun, because you got to go fast. And that's a pro. I'll get back to that later. But going back up is the con.
Yeah, exactly. You get punished on the way up. I biked with Brian, actually, the other day to his apartment. And I hadn't ridden that long in a while. And I was a little bit winded, to say the least.
Right, yeah. It kind of takes a lot out of you. And, sometimes you don't want to exercise.
Yeah.
But, it kind of works, though. Because, it's not like a scheduled thing. I'm going to go bike now. It's I have to get home.
Yeah.
I need to bike now.
You have a reason to do it.
Yeah, and it's just you know what? I'm going to get home faster if I bike faster, So that usually helps.
Yeah.
I also had a really hard time with worrying about the weather. A few times this week it hailed once this week.
Really? I was not present for that, apparently.
I was editing actually this podcast and I looked outside and it looked scary. I saw people running around avoiding the hail.
Yeah.
But all I was thinking was what if I was on my back? What if I try to go home?
Yeah.
That'll be a bad time. So, obviously worrying about weather, that's nice to have a car. But I'd probably be walking if I wasn't biking, and I'd rather be biking than walking in hail. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It might whip your face more a bit if you're riding your bike.
It's kind of like that Mythbusters thing, or it was on Mythbusters, where is it better to run in the rain or is it better to walk in the rain?
Yeah.
And see how wet you get, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Whichever one. So maybe there's one we could do later where I'm on a bike and you're walking, and we'll see who experiences the most pain.
Pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Another con. All the cons. It's a little dangerous to ride your bike at night unless you have the correct lights.
Yeah.
So although I never really had anything serious to do at night, it was still kind of limiting. I couldn't really go anywhere on my bike at night because I knew I didn't have the proper safety gear. So that was a worry. It was also, sometimes it was a little too far to bike. I usually go to West Laramie to visit my girlfriend, and I can't bike to West Laramie.
That's a little much.
That would take an hour.
Yeah.
But the last thing I have on here for cons right now is I always had to have my backpack on me. Because the way I had my lock system set up is I'd put the lock in my backpack. Or even if I was going out to get groceries or whatever, I would have to have my backpack on. That isn't a too bad of a thing, but it was still you have to have it. You know what I mean? I didn't like, having this thing on my back the entire time, especially if I had to fill it with things. That's no fun.
Yeah, exactly. Too much of a burden.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that burden when I'm trying to have fun. Speaking of having fun, here's the pros.
Good things.
Yeah, there's some good things for being on a bike. So number one, it was a lot faster to bike than just walk.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it took maybe 5 minutes or so from my apartment to the campus. Only 5 minutes, so I could leave for a 10 o'clock class at like 9:53, which I did once. You know, and it was great, you know.
Yeah, that's a little on the edge, but...
Okay, so the second thing I have about pros is actually two things. So it was convenient with no parking. Never had to worry about parking at all. I would really just attach myself to, wherever the bike thing was. There's a little place I can attach my bike at work. So that just worked out perfectly. And I mean, I wouldn't really have to worry about that too much if I was just walking. But just the ability to go faster is better.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other convenient thing, too, is it is good and easy exercise. That's all. It's nice and easy. It's built right into my regimen of doing things, you know. So it's not like I'm going out to go do something. I'm just always exercising, you know. And like we were talking about earlier, how like you're wanting to go home, and so you have to bike there, but you really don't want to.
Yeah, but like it's a necessity.
Yeah,
like, what else are you gonna do?
You have to. So
sleep in the middle of praxis.
Exactly, it makes you want to.
Yeah,
it makes you have to, and it's good to have tos. The other pro thing is that it makes me feel better about myself while exercising. Even just the idea of me going on campus and going and doing my thing while exercising, it's just like, oh, I'm doing a good thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I'm doing a good thing for myself and also for the planet with the reduction of pollution. It can help with that rather than driving my big fat car or my big fat self.
Whoa, that was me.
Do I produce more pollution walking than can? Never mind. And last pro, the biggest pro for any college student is it saved me money.
Oh yes,
lots of money. I had almost no gas on Monday, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to fill this up at some point. So I kind of just postponed it until yesterday, and that's when I filled up my gas and filled up the air in my tires. But still, if let's say I didn't have the car or whatever, right? I wouldn't have had to pay the like $50 of gas. And
exactly.
$3 in the you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, not speaking about that. I have a quick story for you. I thought would be interesting to just tell about my biking experience. It was how can I say this? It was like the most religious experience I had on a bike this week. Basically, I was on the way from the business building to the classroom building, in 10 minutes or so. And so I got on my bike. I started going for it. I had my helmet on. I was being all safe and awesome. And I was even more awesome that I didn't go on the sidewalk and I went on the road. So when I went over there, I looked left, I looked right. I saw that there was no one to the left of me. I started going, and that's when I noticed I had joined a biker gang, a bicycle gang. And there was about 10 of us, and we were all just going for it, and we were all going so fast, and it was great. We stopped at stop signs, and it was fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we were a safe biker gang.
I'm sort of surprised that the people in front of you actually stopped at the stop signs, because I don't see that a whole lot.
Yeah, it was a little awkward. I mean, we didn't, stop.
Oh, you just slowed.
We did, a little, whoop. That's a good thing for slowing down?
Whoop.
Whoop. We did a whoop. And then we just started going. I was in the front of the pack. I was in the back of the pack.
Back.
The back of the pack. I was the caboose of the pack.
Yes.
Caboose of the train. Anyway, so yeah, that was my experience biking. Sam, do you have any experiences at all with biking?
Well, the only thing I can really think of that's a memorable experience for biking, other than biking literally everywhere, my first semester in college, from marching band in War Memorial Stadium to the agriculture building in 5 minutes.
That is far.
Yeah, it was difficult.
That is basically the campus. You're going from one end of the campus to the other end.
Yeah, I'm just lucky I didn't have to go all the way to the classroom building. Anyway, I just remember biking everywhere. My legs got really strong, as I said in the last podcast.
Oh yeah, you said fine, right? Dang fine. I should say, I should share that my legs are looking dang fine.
I can't really say the same currently because I haven't ridden my bike in a long time, and I don't really have to ride up any big hills with my current schedule.
But to move on from biking, like we were talking about, this is obviously last week. I guess I forgot to mention that. Last week I took on bicycling or bicycling, whatever it is. Took on that. That was the first episode. And we'll do this every single episode. I'll just... I and Sam and I will go through exactly like what our experiences were and like how it went.
Just give a recap of the last week of experiences.
Exactly. So we'll just continue on to the actual focus of this episode, which is a meditation. Meditation. What's the scene in Nemo with the Nemo fish? Is his name? Yeah, Nemo. He's an anemone.
Oh, anemone, yeah.
That's just like meditation.
Yes.
Anyway, this one's about meditation. We'll start with quotes from famous people about meditation. Are you ready for this? Have you seen these yet?
I have not read them.
At the end of the day, I can end up just totally wacky because I've made mountains of molehills. With meditation, I keep them as molehills. What famous member of the Star family?
The Star
Not
family.
Patrick. Patrick didn't say this.
The only other Star family member I can think of is Ringo Starr.
Exactly, Ringo Starr.
Thank
Ringo Starr of the Beatles. Actually, we're going to kind of go a Beatles theme apparently with this podcast because we had John Lennon, now we have Ringo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the two best Beatles.
Wait, we already talked about John Lennon?
Yeah, we had John Lennon in the last quote.
Oh, the last podcast. Okay, I thought you were talking about this podcast. Yeah, I remember that.
I used to ride my bike. I slept with my bike.
Slept with it.
Bikes are everywhere. Second quote. Reading makes a full man, meditation makes a profound man, and discourse makes a clear man.
I actually do know this one, I think. Mm-hmm. I recognize this quote from somewhere. I think it might be Benjamin Franklin.
It is Benjamin Franklin.
Wow.
Benjamin Franklin himself. Third quote, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
I'm going to say Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, very, very close. Bruce Lee. Oh. Bruce Lee said this. I'm not sure. There's no real relation between Hannah Montana. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to
out her.
Yeah. Sorry, Miley. That was Bruce Lee. I think it was in a movie.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a weird clip. It was just like Bruce Lee standing on some steps with like a cowboy-looking guy, and the guy was like, I don't know how to do this thing I'm trying to do. And then Bruce Lee was just told him this thing. To be water, my friend.
I wonder if he wrote that.
I was about to say he probably did, but he probably didn't.
Probably not.
It's fine. Okay, so we got the fourth quote. If you just sit and observe, you will see how restless your mind is. Mm-hmm. If you try to calm it, it only makes things worse. But over time, it does calm. And when it does, there's a room to hear more subtle things. That's when your intuition starts to blossom and you start to see things more clearly and be in the present more.
Can you give me a time period?
He died recently. In the last, 10 years.
Steve Jobs.
Steve? Really? Yeah, Steve Jobs.
That's the first person I thought of that died.
Steve Jobs. There were a lot of people that died.
Oh, I guess it could have been, Stephen Hawking. God,
David
I cried.
Bowie.
I cried so hard when Stephen Hawking died.
Anyway, so the last quote. Drum roll, please. Don't actually drum roll because that sounds bad in the audio. And in the moments of madness, meditation has helped me find moments of serenity. And I would like to think that it would help provide young people a quiet haven in a not-so-quiet world. It's a lifelong gift, something you can call on at any time. I think it's a great thing.
Well, he mentioned madness, so I'm now thinking about somebody who has a history for madness. So I'm gonna...
He wrote music.
Wrote.
He
is
wrote,
deceased?
performed. He writes music. He just released one of his newest album, a few weeks ago.
Wasn't it...
He's a sir.
Yeah, it's Paul. Paul
It
McCartney.
is Sir Paul McCartney. Yep, so those were your quotes about meditation, mostly positive. Actually, all of them were positive.
This episode is a little bit different than last episode, at least in my boat. I have a little bit of a different role.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do as much.
I actually have something to contribute that I researched myself. So I'm going to talk about meditation and your health. So according to an article I found on a Harvard Medical School health publishing website, regular meditation can significantly reduce the amount of stress experienced by not only your mind but your body as well.
Okay.
So when you're under a lot of stress, as many of us students are, the something called the adrenal glands in your kidneys tend to produce an excess of a hormone called cortisol. And having too much of this can negatively affect your immune system, certain organs, and your brain operation. And so meditation is believed to play a part in reducing the production of cortisol when it's in excess, and then regulating it when it tries to produce in the future.
Huh. Is there anything else, like, you may not know this, but is there anything else that, like, helps with that? Like, is there, like, a medication that you could take?
I would think that there would definitely be a medication. There's definitely stress and anxiety and depression medication.
Right.
That would probably have something to do with the amount of hormones you have. I don't know if it's specifically cortisol, but I definitely think that there are medications out there that definitely affect cortisol. Okay.
So it's just meditation is almost like a different path of taking that?
It's like alternative medicine. Probably best as a supplementary form of treatment, though, as I will get into in a second. But I'm going to start with the benefits to your mind that you get from meditation. Let's talk mental illness relief. So in 2014, JAMA Internal Medicine published a research review.
JAMA Internal Medicine. I'm just gonna... JAMA.
Okay.
We'll there's no dots in between there. It has to be JAMA.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm switching my position. It's JAMA. So, okay, I'm gonna
do you want me to re-record that?
Please do serious. No, you're fine. This is great.
Okay. So in 2014, JAMA Internal Medicine published a research review that found meditation to be about as effective in reducing the effects of depression as an actual prescribed antidepressant.
Now, is that person by person? I'm guessing that'd be person by person.
Well, I since it is a scientific experiment, I assume they used a large sample size. So I assume they probably did like 100, maybe 200 people who suffered with the same sort of type of depression, and probably put half of them on the antidepressant and half of them on regular meditation, and saw how they were similar and how they were different after a period of time. So I would assume, since it's such a prestigious journal, that they would have done something that's scientifically valid.
Yeah, like I'm not dissing it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to play like a devil's advocate somewhat here.
Yeah, I understand. And this was also the case, the similar effects of meditation as an antidepressant. It was also the case for other psychological problems like anxiety and even chronic headaches. Okay, so apparently they did multiple phases of this experiment, and it's a real deal scientific journal, and so it has to at least have some truth to it, being published in a Harvard article. So
so that would help a lot of students here at the college, especially. I know it gets very stressful especially if you're a freshman. Oh yeah. And you just went from like some sort of high school with 20 people in your class, and you didn't really have to work that hard, and then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, you got 5 papers due in 5 days, good luck, so that kind of a lot of stress. So all right, well, that's awesome, so you can add some meditation in there. Yeah,
and additionally, going away from mental illness, meditation is also believed by many scientists to be able to help improve your intuition, as we talked about earlier in the quote about intuition, and improve your creativity. And according to Harvard, it helps improve your connection with your inner self.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. So it can help your body, it can help your mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another thing about the body, meditating every day for about 10 minutes is said to affect your body in a slew of beneficial ways. Oh, cool. It apparently works against the acceleration and overexcitement of your sympathetic nervous system, which controls your breathing, blood pressure, heart rate, etc.
Got ya.
And so routine meditation is often recommended to people with high blood pressure as a supplementary form of treatment, like I said before. It goes alongside other like medications or practices that they have to do to get better.
Okay. Is that all you have for the medical?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we will move on to how you and how Sam and I are going to meditate. So we're going to go through this article of how to meditate, simple meditation for beginners. So there are 4 steps right here. 3 of the 4 are just like 1 sentences, and then the 4th one is like extremely long. So let's go through this. Number 1, sit or lie.
Comfortably.
So don't lie awkwardly. Like, don't go up to your math professor, and be like, "Hey, I didn't get the work done because I was busy." Don't lie like that.
Brian, I was so confused.
No, serious. Just lie down on the ground or your bed or like a desk. Don't do it in class. Don't meditate in class. It won't work. Anyway, sit or lie comfortably. You have to close your eyes. Do it automatically. Don't do it manually. That might be bad for your eyes. Number 3.
Manually? How do you manually?
You open your eyes and then you manually get your fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, or you can just like shove your fingers in your eyes.
I don't think
close them for good.
Oh my gosh.
Extreme meditation. Number 3, make no effort to control your breath. Simply breathe naturally. I just realized breathe has an E at the end.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, number 4, the long one. Focus your attention on the breath and how the body moves with each inhalation and exhalation. Notice the movements of your body as you breathe. Observe your chest, shoulders, ribcage, and belly. Simply focus your attention on your breath without controlling its pace or intensity. If your mind wanders, return your focus back to your breath.
And I also noticed in one of the articles I read, it said if you don't want to close your eyes, you can just focus on one singular object.
Huh.
And that apparently helps people who don't want to close their eyes.
And you just go for it?
Yeah.
Gaia. Well, let's see here. Once you get into your meditative zone, it will take about 2 or 3 minutes to start. But like what I would do, or at least what this website says to do, what you do is try to do some like little stuff at first, go for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. And then later you can kind of upgrade and go for longer periods of time. But, you don't even need that much to meditate either. You need something to sit on or lie on. This could be like... there's standing meditation, there's even walking meditation, but sitting meditation is most common and best place to start. There was also like an ad, like a weird ad on this website. It was just like, here's this pillow that you can sit on.
A special pillow.
A special pillow. It might be legit, but I don't trust that kind of stuff. It's just like, hey, we're going to sell you this pillow for like $20. You should get it.
Yeah, I don't need something else to sit on.
Buy our $20 pillow. Buy it online. The shipping's like $50. You'll need it to meditate like a pro. Anyway, so yeah, just get a place to sit or lie down on. You also need a timer. That is the second thing. Those are the only 2 things you need. You need a timer, and I mean, you could just put it on your phone if need be. So use a timer. Find a place to sit on, and remember, I'll go through the steps once again, just without the comedy bits in there. Number 1, sit or lie comfortably. Number 2, close your eyes. Number 3, make no effort to control the breath. Simply breathe naturally. And then do all the things number 4 is done. One thing that's really important is how to sit. The biggest thing to remember is to keep your back straight. Keep your back erect. If you're in a chair, it's best not to rest your back on the back of the chair, and to keep an upright posture.
Oh yeah, this might even help your overall posture too. That could be another health benefit.
Number 2, remember you got to keep your back straight. Number 2, your eyes can be either opened or closed, like we said before. Let's see, your number 3, don't worry about your hands. Some people like to form circles with their thumb and another finger, but that doesn't really matter in my opinion, or in this website opinion. I just read that, so it's not you can form circles, that's okay. So yeah, it just says don't worry about your hands. It's just the way this article is written. It's written in the first person, so I'm not saying things. This isn't my opinion. This isn't how I rest my hands. I'll rest. Well, I'm gonna start resting with meditation. You can cross your legs if you want. Look slightly downward. Look slightly downward.
Even if your eyes are closed.
This opens your chest again through finding a place that's comfortable, one that keeps you upright and opens your chest. What did you just do? You just did like a double chin? Is that what I saw?
I just looked down.
I'm meditating. Just make sure to, be upright, be comfortable. Sit in a posture that makes you feel comfortable.
Feel good.
And so this is the actual, what do you call it? This is the actual path you need to take to start meditating. And we'll start at another list. So we'll start with step 1 is you get comfortable. Like we said, make sure you're up straight, sit, or do whatever. And you start your timer. So what you got to do is you bring your attention / focus to your breath. This is what meditation is all about, and this is what makes meditation both difficult and worthwhile. In this step, close your mouth and focus entirely on your breath as it enters and leaves your nose. You can focus on any element of the breath you want. Actually, Sam, do you know what we should do?
What?
I'll help you meditate.
You'll help me meditate?
Yeah. I'll try to sound like really tranquil and everything. So close your eyes. Okay. And I want you to focus entirely on your breath as it enters and leaves your nose. You could focus on any element of your breath that you want, and from how the air feels as it enters and exits your nose to how the air feels as you inflate and deflate your lungs, to the sensation under your nose as you breathe in and out, to the sound you make as you breathe. Don't force your breathing here. Just breathe naturally and observe your breath without thinking much about it. Okay, let's just turn into an ASMR pod. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, well the next thing you gotta do is you gotta think about not thinking. Don't think. That's the next thing you gotta do. Don't think. Don't analyze your breath. Just don't think. Now this is the hardest part, but I know you can do it, Sam, and I know you can do it, viewer, and I know I can do it later. I'm gonna do it in the morning. I'm just gonna wake up and start doing this stuff. So you gotta bring your attention back to your mind when it wanders, and it will. Meditating for 3 to 4 years, 30 minutes a day made this person wander. Their mind still wanders after 3 to 4 years. And when your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Once you realize that your mind has wandered, you may not clue in at first that your mind has started thinking again, but when you do, gently bring your attention back. Now, again, it's fine if your mind wanders. That's what works. And Sam, how do you feel? Sleepy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a hard time just sleeping in the middle of this, honestly.
Yeah, that's I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in the morning like you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do it at night.
I've heard it's really nice to do in the morning.
I don't do anything in the morning. I am not a morning person. I think, Brian, you're the opposite.
No, I'm not.
You're not a morning person?
No, my sister is a morning person, and I am not. I am not at all. But I try to be. But yeah, so that's how you meditate. These are all the things you need to keep in mind as you're meditating. Remember, keep your back straight. Sit in a nice chair, or lie in a nice chair, or do whatever you want to do in the chair. But meditate. Lie in a chair. Just do what you need. Go through these steps again. If you want to know those steps, just listen to this podcast again. That'll be really nice to get some views. And so that's what we had to talk about this week. We had to talk about meditation. Now, this is only the second episode of the podcast, but the first one is already up on the Branding Iron online website. That is just University of Wyoming Branding Iron. If you just search up UW space Branding Iron, go to the second link, usually when it shows up in Google. Click on that. That is BI Online. Just click on there. You'll see podcasts. Right on there will be the first and second episode. Well, I guess you're already here, huh? But well, that's another way. The other way you might have found this podcast is through the YouTube channel at UW OneTV. I'm not joking. If you search up UW OneTV, all one word, into your search bar on YouTube, it will show up this channel, and you can find our stuff there. Also, we have a SoundCloud. SoundCloud even has our Healthier Habits podcast posted on there. All you have to do is search up Healthier Habits, and there you go. Through let's see here. So through that streaming service, SoundCloud, and through BI Online, you can actually listen to these podcasts without opening your YouTube app. So if you really don't want to open that YouTube app and just like sit there for 50 minutes and be like, oh, this is boring. I hope it's not boring. But, really what these podcasts are for is for you to go out there, do something important with your lives, listen to us be weirdos and talk about meditation. Mostly me. Sam's actually really nice. You just do something else. And you listen to a podcast. That's what this is really about. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, obviously, thank you. Thank you for listening at all.
Yeah.
But next time, try to just, put in your headphones in.
Yeah, put it in the background.
Put it in the background. Make some nice risotto. Go biking. Go biking to class.
Maybe while you're riding your bike, listen to our podcast.
Exactly. So just, make sure you listen to the podcast. You can also find us at the Instagram page, UW1TV. Yes, it's the same exact name. Just go to there and you'll find updates, exactly what we're doing. Right now it's a lot of advertising for the first episode. That's going to change for the second episode. And I'll post some pictures of me meditating or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for this podcast. It is getting quite late in the recording. Holy cow! I'm sorry if it's not your required length. We're about 45 minutes uncut, so that'll tell you how much I had to cut out of this.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to cut a lot.
Yeah. So for this week, we're just gonna go for it. When it comes to meditating, I will try to meditate every single day. I'll do more research into it. And the next episode, Sam and I will give you the details.
The deets.
The deets on how it went, So, with that being said, and of course that was the second time I said that kind of sentence, we will see you on the next podcast, episode 3.
We will see you later, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Tell your friends. Tell all of your friends.
Yes.
Every
single
friend
you have.
Tell them
about
the
podcast.
Yeah, just tell them about the podcast. So, goodbye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I got like a burp. It's like internal.
You have so many burps.
Shush.